Hot dang. Let's blaze it up.
Hope you can take the heat.
It's Colin's Blazin' 5. Blazin' 5 in the herd. Falcons at Jaguars.
Yeah, here's a game nobody in the world wants to watch, but that's why I like it. Atlanta +3, I'll take the points. NFL teams that get humiliated 1 week before almost always bounce back. And before last week, Atlanta, not a very good team, had lost by 3-1 and 4 and 3 and 10. Yes, they're playing on the road again, but it's a 40-minute flight. Turnovers have played a huge part in the Falcons winning and losing. When they turn it over 2 or less, they're 5-2. When they turn it over 3 or more, they're 1-5. The Jags defense doesn't create those turnovers. And let's not kid ourselves. It's the Jags. They're in close, wild, crazy games. Don't fall in love with the last couple of weeks. They've had 26 lead changes in games this year. That's number 2 in the National Football League. And Matt Ryan, for all the criticism, is going to throw for over 4,000 yards again. They will bounce back. Jags aren't good enough to be giving up points to anybody. Falcons upset win 33-30.
Panthers at Giants.
Listen, Carolina's the real deal, but here's the problem. Carolina's wrapped up their division. They've wrapped up a bye. They've wrapped up pretty much everything. What are they playing for? The Giants are playing for their lives, and I get 5.5 points. I get the Giants at home, and I get cold, windy New Jersey. It's going to be 41 degrees and windy. A perfect New Jersey day for the New York Giants. The defense for the Giants is the only one in NFL history to allow more than 300 net yards passing per game. But Carolina doesn't have the kind of perimeter players to expose that. Carolina has been terrific in the turnover battle all year. Here's the issue, though. So have the Giants. They're +10. The Panthers are 13-0, but they've had to come from behind in half of their wins. This is a close football game with an energized football team that has their season on the line. I'll take the Panthers close by a field goal, but I'm taking the 5.5 with New York.
Broncos at Steelers.
Again, Denver loses to the Raiders, so everybody's bailing. Pittsburgh looked great in the last 3 weeks, so everybody's on the Steelers. I am not. I'm taking Denver +6. This defense is fantastic, and that's too many points. Coming off a huge division win, there's a possible letdown for the Steelers, and they're banged up defensively. The Broncos don't allow any points in the first quarter. They're one of the best first-quarter defenses in the league, and if a second-half comeback's in order, they're also a pretty good team when playing from behind. They start fast, they close strong. Denver gets 6 points, and this defense is unbelievable. They haven't allowed a 300-yard passer in 16 games. This Denver defense hasn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in the last 11 games. The Broncos also lead the NFL in sacks. This is the best defense right now in the NFL. This game is close. The Steelers have guys who are banged up but probably play. I'll take Pittsburgh 28-27, but I'm taking Denver and the points.
Packers at Raiders.
Here's the only dog I'm taking all week. Or the only favorite, excuse me. I'm taking Green Bay -3 over Oakland. And in fact, I think Green Bay wins in a rout. First of all, Oakland had their biggest win in 2 years. They're going to have a pullback. Okay, the Raiders have been up and down the last 3 years, especially this year. Why? Because they're a young team. Okay, they're up, they're down. Anybody got teenage kids? You ever notice that about them? Good weekend, bad weekend, great day, bad day. That's what happens to young teams in pro sports. The Raiders are an awful pass defense, and Aaron Rodgers, 28 TDs and 5 picks. That's with average protection, okay? Here's the other thing. Green Bay doesn't make any mistakes. Last 2 seasons, nobody combined has given a ball away less than the Green Bay Packers. That's why they, on the road, are always in games. Green Bay and Oakland are also opposite ends of the spectrum in fourth-quarter scoring. The Packers are a very good fourth-quarter team. Oakland is an awful fourth-quarter team. Green Bay, more experienced team, more on the line. Raiders pull back after their biggest win in 2 years. Packers swallow the points 33-21.
Bears at Vikings.
Now, last week, a couple of teams, Atlanta and Tennessee, did not show up to play. And I am worried a little that Chicago didn't have anything to play for. But I'm taking 5.5 points in Chicago at Minnesota. Here's why. Strangely enough, and this happened to the Dolphins a couple years ago, Chicago's a much better road team. Jay Cutler's been unbelievable on the road. They're 4-2. He's been unbelievable. And these two teams play close games. The Vikings defense is all banged up. And when you combine that with Jay Cutler on the road this year, 4-1, 9 TDs, 2 picks, 280 yards a game, 65% completion, quarterback rating over 100, and never forget, each of the last 6 games between these teams decided by a single possession. It is close. I'll go with an upset. Bears 28, Vikings 26. The Bears can ruin their rival's season, and I think they'll do it here. That's my Blazing 5. We have had back-to-back-to-back winning weeks.